The Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, is facing criticism from senior Labour figures over his repeated interventions opposing a change in the law on assisted dying in England and Wales. MPs will vote later this month on a plan to allow terminally ill adults expected to die within 6 months the right to seek help to end their life. One senior Labour figure told the BBC Today that Mr Streeting should hold fire a little bit in his opposition. Our political editor Chris Mason reports.
Should you be able to choose when you die? Campaigners say yes, but it's a huge question. The Health Secretary said he'll vote against it. The Labour MP leading the campaign to change the law has said that has left her disappointed and upset.
I was just quite concerned that there'd been an instruction not to really talk about this publicly from Cabinet members. But that's absolutely fine. You know, they are entitled to talk about it if they wish. And there's a range of views. Like I say, Wes has got his views, but you've got people like Ed Miliband and Lisa Nandy and Liz Kendall who are very, very supportive of a change in the law.
A month ago, Wes Streeting told a large, notionally private meeting of Labour MPs he would vote against a change, and he said it repeatedly since.
I've made it clear that I'll be voting against the assisted dying bill this time. That's mainly because I don't think that palliative care, end-of-life care, is where it needs to be to give people a real choice.
And yesterday, Mr Streeting spoke to NHS staff and suggested to reporters a change in the law would mean less money for other health priorities. All this after the government's most senior civil servant wrote to all ministers last month, saying the government was neutral on the issue and so ministers should exercise discretion and should not take part in the public debate. Privately and publicly, some Labour figures bluntly think the Health Secretary should wind his neck in. Take this former minister who wants the law to change.
I'm a great Wes Streeting fan, but I think on this issue he should do what the Cabinet Secretary said and just hold fire a little bit.
And now another Cabinet Minister has chosen to speak out for the first time.
I'll be voting for the bill. You know, I've always believed in giving people as much choice and control as possible. And with all the right safeguards which this bill has, I believe it's a really important step forward on such a difficult issue, giving people that choice and control.
There was a suggestion from the Cabinet Secretary of all people that senior politicians, Cabinet Ministers, should be careful about the arguments that are articulated, that the government has a neutral position. Have you all managed that? Has the Health Secretary managed that?
Oh, I'm a great champion of Wes Streeting. He's a friend and he's a great champion for reform himself. But, you know, this is something that people have different views about.
Different views, often strong views from some on both sides, as others wrestle with their conscience about what to do. So a couple of observations tonight. Firstly, if anyone in politics describes you publicly as a champion of yours or a fan, hold on tight for the next sentence where they might just be putting the boot in gently or otherwise. And then a bigger picture point here from the government's perspective. Yes, this is a free vote. MPs, ministers can vote how they like, but where would this leave Wes Streeting as Health Secretary, who is opposed to the change, if Parliament was to back it? Now, he says he would be able to carry on and implement that change that he's opposed. And what about the Prime Minister? He has previously said he'd like the law to change, but what happens if Parliament were to say, with loads of Labour MPs in that scenario, saying it shouldn't change? Potentially awkward. That first vote coming up at the end of the month here.